Did you enjoy the World Cup? Remember the anxiousness everybody felt in the final game? Now, multiply that by 100 in today's recap, Blue Lock. Hey guys, my name is Leia and welcome to Anime Recap Pro. But before we get started, be sure to hit that like button, share, and subscribe. And without any other delays, let's get started. The story starts as we meet Yoichi Isagi, a striker for his high school soccer team. It was seconds away from qualifying for the Nationals had he scored a goal, but he decided to pass the ball to a teammate instead, costing him that opportunity. Isagi, who is angry, perplexed, and disappointed, questions whether the result would have been different if he hadn't made the pass. An invitation from the Japan Football Union is waiting for the younger striker when he gets home. Isagi is one of 300 U18 strikers chosen through an arbitrary and biased selection process for a conscientious project called Blue Lock. The project's ultimate objective is for one of the chosen players to become the star striker of the Japanese national team. Each diamond in the rough participant must compete against others through a series of solo and team competitions to emerge as the best. Isagi sets aside his moral objections to the project because he feels compelled to succeed, even if that means ruthlessly crushing the aspirations of 299 young strikers. In the first trial, the person who is hit by a ball is designated as it, and whoever is it when the timer runs out loses. Igarashi, the striker with the lowest ranking, begins the game as it, and Isagi is ultimately tagged to take over as it. Isagi decides to risk eliminating a stronger player instead of Igarashi while he is down, and just before the timer runs out, he tags Kira to be eliminated. Henri Thierry, a recent hire and the inventor of Blue Lock, chastises the board for its way of thinking during a meeting at the JFU. Ego returns to Blue Lock and tells Kira that his lack of egoism rendered him unfit to be the ultimate striker before he departs. The remaining 11 players will form Team Z and live together. Ego continues with the message that sometimes they will cooperate and other times they will betray one another. The players then train and eat together afterwards. Meguru, Bachira, an Isagi teammate, explains that he has a monster inside of him that tells him the best course of action as they practice late at night. Ego then explains that the teams are chosen based on player rank, and Team Z has all of the players with the lowest rankings. The top 2 teams from the group play a tournament against the other 4 teams in the building. 1 of 5 in the facility will advance to the next trial, he continues. Ego has given the players the task of playing soccer from scratch, with all the players being forwards. Team Z's get ready to face Team X in their first game. Ego explains before the game that the top scorers from the eliminated teams will also advance in addition to the 2 winning teams. Shohei Baru's first goal instigated Team X to start playing as a unit, and Team Z continue to fight among themselves as the game progressed, giving Team X a 5-0 lead. The match started with the teammates fighting among themselves to advance by being the top scorer. Isagi assumes that Ego meant that playing soccer from 0 meant scoring the first goal, because there's a 0 on the scoreboard. Renosuke Kunigami scores just before the timer gives out to give Team Z a goal and prevent a shutout, making the final score 5-1. After the game, Jingo Raichi confronts Isagi and questions him about why he had passed the ball to Kunigami while Raichi was more open. Baru counsels Isagi to remain calm in front of the goal. Isagi explains what he came to when Ego advised playing soccer from scratch back in the locker room, citing Baru's goal as the impetus. Ego continues, saying that although Isagi is partially correct, his point relates to the open-ended nature of a striker, and that Japanese athletes perform better in sports where there are clearly defined roles, while struggling in those that are the many open-ended roles, such as soccer. Isagi, who is having trouble with his mental health, asks Kunigami why he plays soccer, to which the latter replies that he views goal scorers as real-life superheroes and aspires to be one. Kunigami uses his bonus points to buy a steak for Isagi to share with him as a thank you for the assistance. Kunigami also explains that goal scorers receive bonus points to spend on items to enhance their quality of life at Blue Lock. Kunigami also informs Isagi that he poses a unique talent for knowing where to go with the ball to score goals. The following day, Team Z and Team Y compete in what amounts to an elimination game after each team suffered a crushing defeat in the previous match. Bachira starts as the striker as Team Z initiates their position rotation strategy, but Bachira struggles as his shots are blocked. Following a long pass to the team's star player, Hibiki Okawa, who then scores on a breakaway to give Team Y a lead 1-0, Team Y executes their defensive strategy. Isagi observes that Okawa's teammate Iki Nico, the true team leader, and is making all the decisions as Team Y, which has taken the lead, uses stall tactics by passing the ball around to run out the clock. However, Team Z steals the possession and tries to take the game, with a goal from Jin Gagamaru. Isagi recognizes his former self in Nico after discovering that Nico has the same ability as he does. Team Y plays defense up until the very last second as the game is tied 1-1. Team Y rushes towards the goal after forcing Team Z into the defensive zone, and Nico passes the ball to Okawa for a clear opportunity to score the game-winning goal, though was able to return in time to stop Okawa's shot and win possession of the ball. Isagi successfully completes a long pass to Kumigami, who then hands off the ball to Bachira, who scores and gives Team Z a 2-1 victory. The group then hosts a potluck to celebrate their victory. Kyoma Chigiri tells Isagi the night that he tore his ACL a year ago and is afraid he might tear it again, which would end his playing career. Isagi tells Chigiri that to succeed in the sport, he must be willing to sacrifice everything. Isagi is now Team Z's top player after Ego updates the rankings the following day and notes that each player has a unique skill they must learn to use. The current standings are shown, with Team V in first place after winning both games and the other 4 teams each having 1 victory. Knowing that their final match is against Team V, who has dominated the block, Team Z enters their game against Team W with a strong sense of urgency. Wataru Kuon's hat trick gives Team Z a 3-0 halftime advantage over Team W. However, as the second half gets underway, that advantage is quickly lost. Isagi correctly concludes that Kuon is betraying the team after observing that Team W is an ideal position to counter Team Z's strategy, and that Kuon purposely made errors that allowed the Wanama twins to score simple goals for Team W. According to Kuon, the Wanama twins agreed to let Team W win in exchange for letting Kuon advance as Team Z's top scorer. As a result, they allowed Kuon to score 3 goals in the first half, and Kuon would then reveal Team Z's tactics. Now that Isagi is aware of the match is 10 against 12, she tries to devise a new plan of attack. Chigiri remembers his soccer career. When he was dubbed the Genius and played for the same high school as the Wanama twins, he was down 4-3, and Kuon had revealed Team Z's strategy to Team W. He was a star athlete known for his speed who tore his ACL and had to postpone his career. He has been holding back out of concern that he would re-injure his knee and have his career ended. Team Z relies on Chigiri because Kuon needs to be made more aware of Chigiri's injury and needs a new strategy that Kuon can't counter. Isagi passes the ball to the opposing side of the field as the game enters overtime. Following Isagi's advice to be ready to lose everything, Chigiri uses his speed to take the ball and score the equalizer in the game's dying seconds to force a 4-4 draw. After the game, Team W beats Kuon up for not informing them about Chigiri. Later, Kuon tries to work out a similar agreement with Team V members Zanetsu Tsuguri, Seishiro Nagi, and Reo Mikage, but they need more interest. Isagi approaches Team V after overhearing the conversation and becoming disturbed by their perspective on the game to chastise them for their dedication to soccer. Want to find out if Isagi and his team defeat Team V? Stay tuned for part 2. Also, if you enjoyed the video, like, share, and subscribe. We really appreciate your support.